I was desperate. I hated myself. I The self-loathing that I had internally was so deep and dark. But I again, I was plagued with this narrative that had been going on my whole life of like, you can't say this to anybody. This is don't show what you're don't tell, don't show what you're feeling, don't talk about what you're feeling, suck it up and be a man. And I don't know, I had a moment of weakness or whatever it was, but it was a blessing at the time. But I was looking for a piece, maybe a credit card that I'd stolen or something to pay for my bar tab, and his number comes out, like, just falls out of my wallet. And I thought, okay, well, I'll, I guess I'll give it a shot. So I found a payphone at the time. We didn't have cell phones even then. And I gave him a call and I said, Terry was his name. I said, Terry, it's Chris from work. You said if I get sick and tired of being sick and tired that you could help me, and I think I'm there. I'm pretty sick and tired. And he said, where are you? Stay there. I'll be there in 10 minutes. So he showed up to this bar.
Wow.
And yeah, I
What a
mean,
dude.
and this must have been 1 a.m., 2 a.m. Like, it was late at night.
Mm.
And I oftentimes I joke about this, but I say, I think at the time I was probably just looking for somebody to pay my bar tab. But you know, but he came in my life and he said, well, he came into the bar and he said, listen, I'm happy to pay your bar tab, but it comes with a condition. And that you come across the street to the coffee shop with me. I'm going to buy you a sandwich and a coffee, and I just want to tell you my story. So he told me his story about how, you know, he was an alcoholic, he was a drug addict. He had been sober. Like, he told me all about his life, and he told me he'd been sober for about 20 years at that time. And to me, I thought, wow, 20 years. Like, how can anybody do that? I didn't, I was trying to fathom 20 hours without substances. That seemed impossible to me at that time. And he said, it's my job to do this. It's my job to offer help to somebody else who is sick and suffering. As somebody who is in recovery, this is how we stay sober, is by offering what we've learned to other people. And he said, would you like to come to a meeting tomorrow? Because that's where it starts. That's where you can start getting help. And I'll be there with you for that. And I said, sure, anything's better than what I'm living right now. And so I went to the meeting, and I wish that I could say that that was the first day of the rest of my life.
Mm.
But it wasn't. I finally had admitted that I needed help. I was willing to go to the meeting, but as soon as I got there, um, I went into, instead of to keeping my brain in like a place of relatability or openness, I went straight to comparing and judging. So I looked around the room, and one thing that I always say is that when I walked into that meeting, everybody wanted to shake my hand or give me a hug. They wanted to know my name. They were laughing, they were joking, and it was the same warm feeling as I felt when I was at my friends' houses as a child. And so I recognized this feeling, and I thought, wow, like, there it is again, that thing
Mm.
that I didn't have as a child. But I looked at everybody and I said, A, I'm the youngest guy in the room. B, I haven't lost my job. C, I haven't been to prisons. D, I haven't wrecked a car. I just went down the list of all the things. I haven't been homeless. I haven't, I still have this, I still have that. So I can't be like these people, because they were telling stories about, like, things that I thought never would happen to me. And I told this guy Terry, I said, I'm not like these people. I've listened to a guy talk about eating food out of a garbage can, and I've got money for food. That hasn't happened to me. And he every
Hang
time I
on,
would say
mate.
that.
Hang on. I've got money for, isn't that crazy? I've got money for food. Just a minute ago, I couldn't pay, or just a night ago, I couldn't pay for my bar tab. So I called you, and anyway, I owe these people money. Isn't it great, the games that we play?
Well, it's amazing how quickly we forget the pain that we were in yesterday,
Yeah.
right? And every time I would say that to him, I'd say, that hasn't happened to me. That hasn't happened to me. And he said, yet, yet, yet. He just kept ending my sentences with the word yet. And he said, listen, I promise you, if you go out and continue to live the way that you're living, that stuff will happen to you. You will get to that point. You don't have to get to that point. You're here now. Don't let yourself get to that point. Everybody talks about a rock bottom, right?
Yeah.
And the thing that I didn't realize is that every rock bottom has a trap door. So every rock bottom has a lower bottom that you can fall into, and a lower bottom and a lower bottom, until you end up 6 feet under.